Hello, welcome back, or welcome, depending on if you're a new viewer or a reoccurring viewer. Either way, hello, how are you? Hope you're doing great. Today, I wanted to make a video of for, I guess, returning missionaries or missionaries that are going out on missions, kind of a video about what to expect when you come home from your mission. Nobody ever, I guess, told me how it would be coming home. Nobody ever gave me any knowledge, any experience. Not really experience. I'm going to go with knowledge. Knowledge of when you come home from your mission, how different things will be, how hard things will be. Not in like a way of like life's hard. It's more of a, I don't know. Well, I'll get into it once I explain. So when you go on a mission, you're getting plucked. You got the base world. You got the world. Worldly things, whatever they might be. And like God's grabbing you and pulling you out of that and plucking you over into what actually matters in the world. Because as a firm believer in the gospel, I believe that the only things that matter is the doctrine of Christ. And then to live, you need jobs, to provide food, to have a house, to enjoy things that you enjoy, such as hobbies and whatnot. But that's where worldly things come in. In the Bible, it talks about how when Christ was here, he lived off the land off the land, and his people God provided. God gave them what they needed, and they believed in that, and that's the way things worked. They went out and they might have had to, plant some things, grow some things, stuff like that, build their own houses and whatnot, but they weren't focused on a 9-to-5 job. They worked every single day because they spent every single day preaching the gospel. They went out and preached the gospel, which is super crazy. Until you go on a mission and you find out how wonderful that is. How wonderful it is to go around preaching the gospel, doing something that actually means something in this life. Not just living. You're being a tool for God. So it puts a whole new perspective on your eyes. And then also, I guess this is mainly coming from a person that isn't from Utah. So none of my friends were Mormon or members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. None of them. A lot of them didn't like our church. So when I went on my mission, I only had one friend that ever emailed me. And even at that, it was very rare that I ever got an email. But I appreciated it when I did. So I'm not going to say I don't. But things change. People change, especially within 2 years. And as a missionary, you change a lot. Your perspective gets changed on what's important and what's not, and what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing. And it just puts in perspective, I guess, a more eternal perspective on life, on what is meaningful, what's necessary, what you desire. All these things get put in perspective, an eternal perspective, where on the other hand, you have people back home, family members, friends, loved ones, whatever they might be, that are also changing within those 2 years. They're, especially going right out of high school, you got all your friends, high school friends, that are living life as well. Their first time going to college, first time away from home, getting jobs and figuring out what they desire, what they want, what they think is the right way to go. And so a lot of people change. And coming from a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints town, majority of everybody changed. and their perspective was put into the world, the worldly things. So coming home to that, you're in a more eternal perspective of the world. So you have a different desire. You have the desire to continue preaching the gospel, to continue feasting upon the words of God, striving for those things. Where, on the other hand, you have people that are more interested in parties and in sex, in alcohol, in money, and all these things. And they change and they stop being friends. They stop talking to you. They don't talk to you for 2 years, so you expect to come home and you expect them to be exactly the same, but they're not. And that also goes for family. Family change as well. Especially in my family, a lot of things changed that I wish wouldn't have, but that's life. Things change, people change, they make their own decisions. But as long as you firmly believe in God, God will make things everything will be made right with God. That's the number one aspect in everything, is that as long as we are firm believers and that we do what He asks, everything will be made right with God, right? And so when you come home from a mission, you're, again, expecting things not to change. You're expecting people, especially the ones that you held dearly, that you prayed for every day, to be nearer unto God. But again, we have agency. They have agency. We can't make decisions for them. God can't make decisions for them. And they end up making their own decisions, which is irritating. So when you come home from a mission, expect things to be changed. Expect there to be change. Probably for either the worst or for the best. Because there is a lot of people that when you come home, that they change for the better. Because, they want to be better like you. They see that you're doing the things you're doing, so they strive to be better. And then vice versa, people fall into the worldly things and they turn away. And when you come home, things will be difficult getting back into life, because you're so used to being engulfed in the gospel constantly, 24/7. That's all you ever do. Eat, drink, breathe, is the gospel for 2 whole years or a year and a half, depending on if you're a boy or a girl. And so things are different, because you have to actually rely on you have to start focusing on other things other than the gospel that kind of pull you away from the gospel. So you have to constantly be striving to fill yourself with the gospel, reading your scriptures, praying, whatever it might be, within those times that you were given between, full-time jobs, schooling, marriage, children, whatever it might be, and so things get difficult. I just wanted to make that quick video about the way things are after your mission. Expect it to be hard. Expect it to be difficult. Those are the 2 best years of your life. As long as you're out there serving God and you're willingly serving God, you're out there doing what you want to be doing, and you're out there on your own free will. You're not being persuaded by anybody else to do it, whatever it might be. Enjoy it. If you have not yet found your testimony, do it before you go on a mission. Find the testimony of the Book of Mormon. Strive to follow the commandments as closely as you can. Of course, we're all human. We have our poisons. We falter. God does that. But as long as you're striving to follow the commandments perfectly, as perfectly as you can, again, God will make things right. And serving your mission, serve it with all you have. Not telling you to go out there and be exactly obedient, because that's a whole different spill for me. Is spirit of the law, letter of the law. If somebody's crying and it's 9 o'clock and you should be inside, but they're crying on the streets, you probably should stop and talk to them, even if it's putting you past. I guess it's 10, right? No, 10 bedtime. Yeah, 9 o'clock is the time to go in. I remember correctly. Whatever, put you past your curfew. Do what you think's right. Now, will God ever tell you to smoke a cigarette? No, don't believe that. But that's a whole different spill. We're talking about coming home. Expect it to be different. Expect things to be changed. Expect to cut off some people, and expect to become friends with more people, different people, whatever it might be, so that you continue being righteous, continue doing the correct things in this world, in this life. Hopefully this helps whoever's out there. Let me know about your experiences. Some people, might even have better experiences coming home. Their family might have turned more towards the church. Friends might have turned more towards the church. They might come home and get married right away. Some people might not. I don't know. That's just how things go. People have it differently. We all have our own walkways, our own ways of life that we're having to follow, walk down. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully this helps somebody expect some things, so that it's not as difficult when you're on a mission and you come home. I'll talk to you guys later.